Good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Levi Nolasco. I'm a top producing realtor here in sunny and currently cloudy Las Cruces, New Mexico. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and join my Facebook group called Moving to Las Cruces, where I connect you to people that have made the move. That way you can ask them questions that sometimes realtors can't answer. I just want to say I'm always surprised at how beautiful Las Cruces is. There's never a day that I walk outside and I'm like, ugh, this place is ugly. As you can see behind me, we're in the middle of monsoon season. We had one of the best rains of the year a couple days ago. So I'm trying to get this video done before another rain comes in today. In today's video, I wanted to give you a quick market update on what I'm seeing here in the local Las Cruces market. So what I'm going to do is take some landscape video and put myself in this little box down here and let you see the beauty that Las Cruces has while I talk to you about the current market. At the moment, in the city limits of Las Cruces, and in terms of single family homes only, not including manufactured homes, we have 516 homes on the market. Compare that to last year where we had well under 300. You can see the inventory is increasing quite a bit this year. Every day I'm checking the market and I see, new houses coming on the market and I see price reductions. Almost always, almost every single day, there's more price reductions than there are new houses. So prices are kind of leveling. I wouldn't say that they're coming down, but they're kind of leveling out a little bit, which I'm seeing quite a bit. And we're getting more inventory, so that's going to increase the leveling effect that we're having right now. As we exit August, we're leaving the last busy month of the year. What you're going to start seeing is a lot more price reductions. You're going to see more inventory hitting the market because builders are adding quite a few houses every week. Builders are offering a ton of incentives right now. Take, for example, French Brothers. They just reduced their pricing by up to $30,000 on select homes, and they're still willing to negotiate on top of that. So this is the first time in my career that I've had builders call and say, if you have somebody interested in this property or any of our properties, call me and let's negotiate a little bit. If they need to, we'll do whatever we can to get the house under contract. Before that, the builder's pricing was the builder's pricing. It was a retail sale. So if the house was listed for $500,000, they wouldn't budge on $500,000. You're either paying that or you're not. But now they're kind of open to negotiating, throwing in some creative things to help you get into a home. Now, in terms of being a buyer's market, sellers are still kind of having a hard time adapting to it. During the 2020, I guess the COVID years, people got really accustomed to, sellers got accustomed to selling for top dollar and pretty much getting everything that they want. It was, the heaviest sellers market, again, I've ever seen. Now, what I've experienced with sellers is that a lot of them are experiencing what we call the lottery effect. And that's where, you look at Zillow, you see how much your neighbor's home sold for the previous year or a couple months ago, and you have this price in your head that you think your house will sell for. Before meeting with me or a listing broker, the sellers have already spent the money in their head. You're getting this extra money, you go on vacation, do whatever you want. It's just not the case anymore. Buyers are getting more deals. They're also getting a lot more in terms of inspection items. So my advice to buyers right now is if you're thinking about getting into the market or you're interested in Las Cruces, you've already made up your mind and you want to move here, I would start looking sooner rather than later. We're right in that sweet spot where prices are starting to reduce. We have a lot of inventory. There's a lot of deals happening right now, but what we're up against is the slowing of the market where people are going to take their houses off the market and rent them or take them off and put them back on in March of next year. My advice to sellers, right now it does take a lot more to sell a house than it did last year. So cleanliness, professional photographs, 3D tours, really good marketing, and number one, pricing, because none of those other items matter if your price isn't correct. You have to have correct pricing for everything else to work. To dive a little further into pricing, when I run a competitive market analysis for a seller, the system will provide three prices for me. It'll provide a low, a recommended, and a high. In years past, it was easy to go to high because we know it would appraise and we know it would sell. Now I'm advising sellers to go for either the recommended or low or somewhere in between just to sell in a timely manner. And in my experience as a listing broker, if you're not the top first or second choice in your price range, your home isn't going to sell in 90 days and you're probably not going to get the amount that you wanted in the first place. So you need to price your home to drive activity. The general kind of rule of thumb is if you're not getting any showings, you're at least 10% overpriced. If you're getting 1 to 2 showings here and there, you're 6 to 8% overpriced. If you're on target, then you should be getting offers and showings within the first 60 to 90 days of being on the market. And speaking about days on market, I have a lot of customers that come from other states and they see a house that may have 60 days on market and think that they can get a deal. However, in Las Cruces, in certain areas, high days on market are to be expected. So when I go to a listing appointment, I tell people, just be prepared to be on the market at least 91 days before you get an offer. And right now, the problem areas or the tough spots to sell are going to be the metro area and the Diamond Springs area of Sonoma Ranch. Pretty much anywhere that has new builds next to existing houses is going to be a tough place to sell. So in these areas, you're going to see really high days on market. So what you see a lot that's happening in those areas, the prices don't really reduce that much because for the most part, the pricing's correct from what I've seen. It's just competing with new houses is really hard right now. But I'd be willing to bet there are people in those areas that really need to sell and might be worth looking into, even if it's a little high priced. And in terms of being kind of the tough spot in the market in pricing, that's going to be between the $400,000 and $500,000 mark. Houses under $400,000 seem to be flying off the shelf. Houses over $500,000 in the luxury market, especially, are selling really quickly. Between $400,000 and $500,000, that's where the most amount of competition is, and that's where houses are just sitting the longest. So if you're in that $400,000 to $500,000 range, you got to be the top first or second choice, or else you're going to sit there probably until next year. Okay, so let's talk about the real estate law changes and what I've been experiencing with those. What I'm seeing right now with buyers is they're getting really frustrated with sellers that aren't offering buyer broker compensation, or they're offering a compensation, but it's negotiable and dependent on the amount that you're going to offer on the house. This is really pissing buyers off, because we have to have an agreement before I can even schedule a showing. So if we don't know what we're walking into and the buyer doesn't know if they're on the hook for the compensation or not, it's most likely we're not going to see that house. They're shooting themselves in the foot, because what people are doing is getting frustrated with sellers and then going to buy brand new houses, which are offering compensation to buyer brokers. And you don't have to go through this whole rigmarole before you even see the house. So that's one thing I've noticed, and I knew this was going to be an issue, and it is. And a quick note for sellers, I don't want to make it seem like it's impossible to sell your house right now, or that it's going to be incredibly difficult, because it really isn't. We're still selling a ton of our listings. You're competing with a lot of overpriced houses and a lot of houses that don't have good marketing, that aren't clean. If you give it 100%, then you still have a really good shot of selling and getting top dollar for your house. Now, keep in mind, my wife and I are both realtors. We work together really well, and we're top producing realtors here in Las Cruces. I always say that I'm one of the lucky people in life. I found what I really love to do, and I enjoy doing every part of it, especially the hard parts. That's when I think it's the most exciting, because you have to get creative, you have to solve a problem. You make yourself useful, and you're useful to another person, which I think is really valuable. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, feel free to give us a call, text, or email. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.